I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. They know me where it snows, I skated and they froze.
Hello, and welcome to The Dylan Show. In today's episode, we'll be covering one of the most shocking cases of the 1980s involving a certain student's rights to free speech. This case is one of the most influential and monumental cases of its time, and its results are still upheld today. And of course, I'm talking about the Bethel v. Fraser case. To put it simply, this case involved a young student named Matthew Fraser who stood in front of his whole school and presented a speech nominating his friend Jeff Kuhlman for ASB vice president. But there's a catch. There's always a catch. This speech was littered with countless sexual innuendos, specifically involving Jeff's... You know what? Why don't you just see for yourself?
I know a man who is firm. He's firm in his pants. He's firm in his shirt. He's firm in his character. But most of all, his belief in you, students of Bethel, is firm. Jeff Coleman is a man who takes his point and pounds it in. If necessary, he'll take an issue and he'll nail it to a wall. He doesn't attack things in spurts. He drives hard, pushing and pushing until finally he succeeds. Jeff is a man who will go to the very end, even the climax.
Oh, hell no!
For each and every one of you. So vote for Jeff for ASB vice president. He'll never come between you and the best our high school can be.
Get out!
Mic drop.
How would you feel if you were there watching that? How would you feel if your child watched that? How would you feel if you presented that to a crowd of 600 peers? But before we get into the breakdown, let's get a quick word from this episode's sponsor, Avid. Avid is a program implemented into pretty much every school in the district, and it promotes college and career readiness. I myself am a proud Avid member, and so are many of my peers. Through the Avid program, we have learned so much vital information relating to our future college and career goals. For example, we've been making college-themed doors for all of our teachers. Let's hear from some amazing Avid students on their thoughts about Avid.
Not gonna lie, I'm only an Avid for the hill trips.
Join Avid.
Even Miss Orozco loves Avid.
Join Avid!
Now that we're back, let's get straight into this mess of a case with a quick reminder of what was said to the crowd.
He's firm in his pants.
Yeah, that sure is something, isn't it? Now, the students of the Bethel School District had various reactions, with some being really annoyed, others feeling awkward or confused, and some laughing their heads off. But when it came to the school, this was no laughing matter. The school quickly suspended Matthew Fraser and banned him from speaking at the school's graduate ceremony. Matthew was outraged and took the school district to court. He argued that the school punishing him was a violation of his First Amendment rights. Now, personally, I don't consider saying vulgar things to an audience of children to be free speech. And even if it was, I still don't think it's okay, especially at a school. Let's take a look at an interview I had with Jeff Kuhlman, the ASB vice president nominee that Matthew was so greatly advocating for.
Hey Jeff, so, tell me the events that led up to Matthew's speech.
Well, basically, he wrote it as a joke, and we all thought it was super funny. Before we knew it, Matt was actually considering it as a speech, though. I tried to warn him he would get in trouble, even the teacher said it wasn't a good idea. But he still did it.
Okay, so how did his speech make you feel?
Well, I'm not embarrassed, that's for sure.
Oh, okay, Jeff. So, my question is, did you end up winning the election?
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm upset my friend got suspended and all, but I won with 90% of the vote. He was great at marketing for me, and I crushed those voting ballots.
Well, thanks for your time, Mr. Coleman. But now, let's get back to the show.
This case was eventually taken to the Supreme Court, which unsurprisingly ruled in favor of the school district. They ruled this way because the schools do not have to tolerate lewd or inappropriate speech, saying that moderation of this kind of speech extends outside of our textbooks and media, and that our peers also play a role in keeping our schools clean. What a shocker. In case you can't tell, I'm siding with the school on this one. If you remember from the interview, this speech was essentially written as a joke and not intended to be taken seriously. So why should we be expected to take him seriously when he presents it? Personally, I feel like this is just a case of a group of friends being punished for a joke that they thought was funny, then trying to get out of it under free speech. Although I do recognize that Matthew meant no harm, he completely deserves every punishment that came his way. Well, that concludes today's episode of The Dylan Show. And I wanted to say thanks to you for tuning in, and thanks to Avid for sponsoring this video, and a very special thanks to our show's Patreon subscribers. Make sure to tune in next time for an even more captivating story.
From the screen to the ring, to the pen, to the king. Where's my crown? That's my bling. Always drama when I ring. See, I believe that if I see it in my heart, smash through the ceiling, cause I'm reaching for the stars.